What is up, motherfuckers? The Reds have beaten Arsenal by 3-1. Was it ever in doubt? Was it? Fuck. It was always going to happen. I've been confident all week. My thoughts came through. Mohamed Salah scored a couple of goals. One of them will go through in absolute finite detail because it was world class. Absolutely world class. Joe Matip tipped in with a header as well. I've got a caller on the line as always. We do this in our post-match show now. I am proud and delighted to be joined by Douglas James Horn. Douglas, how are you, sir?
I am very well and still have goosebumps over that Salah second goal.
Yeah, mate, we'll get to it. Don't worry. We will get to that goal. It was something I think he needed. We were speaking before we started the stream, and not to say he was lacking in confidence, but a lot of the media stuff had been around Sadio Mane and Firmino in the build-up to the game. It was lovely to see Mo grab the headlines.
Oh, absolutely. And it kind of says it all when, you know, Sadio Mane and obviously Roberto Firmino didn't score today, but they still look dangerous. I mean, if you remember the flick over Ceballos' head, I mean, I think Firmino's been playing too much FIFA.
I love him. I absolutely love him, mate.
He's just different class, and but I mean, I thought for most of the game today we were absolutely terrific. It was like we were back to our old selves. Like, if you think of the start of the game, sort of the first 10-15 minutes, we were all over Arsenal.
Yeah, we'll go right back to the start and we'll rewind it all the way back, mate. What did you think when Jurgen Klopp's team sheet came out today? Because during the week, I got this one wrong, I usually do. I went with Joe Gomez and I thought we might go with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and my thought process behind that, Douglas, was because of, you know, the big build-up. It was Arsenal, it was a new contract. Klopp had spoken about him coming back from his injury, and I just thought he might get the nod, but, you know, you can't complain when Gini and Matip do get the nod in the team sheet.
Yeah, I actually thought, obviously, before the start of the game, obviously before it came out, I had Matip instead of Gomez, and I think that was evident of today. Yeah, I was quite surprised that Van Alden came in, but I can see Klopp obviously sort of easing Ox back in, but Ox is going to be a very important player this season.
Oh, without a doubt. I've said this before, he's one of my favourite players at the club. I love everything about the guy. I love his positivity. I love his good nature. I love how media savvy he is. And I love the fact that when we bought him from Arsenal, I spent months listening to Arsenal fans tell me how they robbed us of 40 million quid.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Arsenal fans were like, "Oh, 40 million quid, thank you very much," but how he's really adapted to, you know, Liverpool's style of play, and, you know, it was really shocking for him to get that injury against Roma, because up until that point he was on fire.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous start to his Liverpool career, and it was a shame we missed him out last season, but he's back now, new contract in his pocket. Talking about the Arsenal team selection for today, were you as surprised as me by not seeing Lacazette starting?
I was. I actually thought that the front three would have played. I thought it was going to be Lacazette, Pepe and Aubameyang. And actually, the one player that really surprised me who was not on the pitch from the start was Lucas Torreira.
We were talking about this before we came on stream. He changed Arsenal, the whole dynamic of that Arsenal midfield when he came on. He was moving the balls quicker. He was getting them in more forward positions. Obviously popped up. Lovely footwork for his goal as well. He really did have an impact on the game from their perspective when he came on. Yeah,
absolutely. And obviously he got the goal, and, you know, he looked really good going forward. And I think Arsenal kind of missed someone in that midfield today. I think Torreira, I've said it before, I think he is Arsenal's best midfielder. And, you know, he's been on the bench quite a few times. So do you think, like, I think Emery will probably start him next week because it's Spurs. You know, Torreira obviously scored in the game against Spurs last season. So I think he will probably start against Spurs. But going for the game today, I was very surprised he did not start.
Yeah, so was I. Pleasantly surprised, I should say. But I suppose we should move on to the game now, mate. And there were chances for both sides in the first half, but one in particular that springs to mind was Nicolas Pepe, clean through on goal. And that, for me, possibly summed up why clubs like Liverpool, clubs like Bayern Munich, the real top clubs in Europe, no disrespect to Arsenal, they're a fantastic club, but they didn't pull the trigger on this player because from what I'd heard, he is a little bit raw, a little bit hit and miss, and he should have buried that, mate. He should have made Arsenal 1-0 up.
Yeah, he should have. It was one of those where you can either basically put it under the goalkeeper's legs or sort of curl it past him, but he went for the option, and I don't know if he fluffed it. I don't know if he got the ball under his feet, but he didn't strike it very well. But like you say, like I watched him at the African Cup of Nations, and I wasn't impressed. But having said that, like you say, he is raw. He's only had one good season at Lille, so it's going to take him time to adapt to the Premier League.
Yeah, it is. And look, I'm not writing the guy off. The guy will most likely go on and do really well. But I just wanted to point that one fact out because it's something that when I looked at the reasons why we didn't perhaps go for him, any journalist, that European-based journalist, said the same things. He's an almost kind of player where clubs just aren't really sure. And look, Arsenal paid the money and we'll see how he gets on there. As the half wore on though, mate, I actually thought we bossed the game, although Arsenal had a couple of good opportunities in the first half. But the breakthrough came, and it is lovely to get these breakthroughs near half time. And it was actually quite funny because the corner came in. Virgil van Dijk was appealing because he would have got a penalty. I did hear this after the game. He would have got a penalty for the tug of the shirt. But Joe Matip didn't care, mate. He just came in, got a connection on it, 1-0 to the Reds. Yeah,
absolutely. And do you know what? If Van Dijk if obviously Matip doesn't get it, then Van Dijk is heading into the net. Even if he has his shirt pulled. But yeah, it was a bit of a weird reaction because, like, I think everyone was like looking at like Van Dijk and seeing that he was obviously having his shirt pulled, and then I actually don't think many people noticed the Matip getting the ball. So when it went in, I mean, I was watching you on the stream earlier, and you were like, "Is that a goal? Is that a goal?" Like we weren't sure.
Yeah, I was because of the scuffle with Van Dijk. I was wondering, is he going to give a free out here? Had Van Dijk been pulling on their shirt? I didn't know what was going on. And when I'm doing the watch-alongs, I've no audio, so I have no idea if the referee's blowing his whistle. I'm just trying to gauge with the body language of Matip, and I kind of grasped it really quickly that, oh, this is a goal. Matip's confident here. This is a goal. And then in the post-match interview with Trent speaking to Kelly Cates, I heard him say that the referee had indicated that it would have been a penalty if Matip hadn't scored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad for Joe Matip because that's now 2 goals in 5 games now for Liverpool so far this season. So, we do need to get more goals from defenders, I think. And, if we can get Matip and Van Dijk scoring, then we'll win more matches for sure this season.
Yeah, I just want to take a second to have a bit of a big up about Joel Matip because he came in, obviously, when Joe Gomez fractured his leg against Burnley last season. And he hasn't put a foot wrong, Douglas, since he's come in. And he just seems to get better and better and better. And any day, I feel really guilty about having said, let's play Joe Gomez ahead of him today. Because for me, I gave Matip my man of the match. I thought he was sensational.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Him and Salah were just terrific today. And yeah, like you say, obviously, Matip, he's had his injury troubles as well. I think he's obviously had a few knees, he's had a few thigh injuries. So it's really good to see him getting a more competitive sort of run in the team. And like you say, like when Joe Gomez got injured at Burnley, we were all worrying then who was going to come in. But ever since Matip has come in, he's not put a foot wrong. He's been absolutely outstanding. And I was glad for him to get that goal today.
I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat, by the way. We aren't ignoring you. I will get to the chat. Douglas is only going to be on for another few minutes, and then I'll dip into the chat and get through all your comments, and we'll celebrate this win today. I can't let you go, Douglas, without talking about the 2 Salah goals. Now, the first one, what on earth was David Luiz thinking? I mean, does the man not know that VAR exists and that there's cameras everywhere? It was so blatant that it was almost embarrassing.
Did you actually see his interview with Jeff Shreves? He's actually saying that he didn't tug at Salah's shirt forcefully. I'm sorry, but it's a clear penalty. You cannot tug someone's shirt like that. And obviously, like you say, the VAR is watching, but moment of madness from Luiz, and it's quite funny because obviously we've got the Arsenal fan Heavy D, who I don't know what it's all about, but he's obviously in love with David Luiz or something. But I actually did tweet something that I actually thought Luiz would have an impact on this game. I did say like own goal incoming, but I didn't see him conceding a penalty. But for him to say that he didn't pull on Salah's shirt forcefully is absolute nonsense.
It is nonsense of the highest order, as you said. And look, the referee pointed at the spot, VAR checked it, and it was given. And my goodness, what a strike from Mohamed Salah for the penalty. I mean, I'm always nervous when Mo takes penalties. I'm not going to lie. I don't like that run-up that he does. It always makes me nervous. But with aplomb, I think is the correct phrase here, mate. Straight into the top corner.
Top bins. Just can't get any better than that. Goalkeeper beaten. It was just a clear, beautiful strike into the top corner from our Egyptian king. And obviously with Milner not being on there, I'm now confident in Salah taking penalties.
Yeah, well, look, I can't complain. I mean, he scored in the Champions League final, stepped up today, put it in top bins. I mean, what more can he do? I'm so happy for him because, as we said earlier on, a lot of the build-up had been about Mane, Bobby Firmino. Mohamed Salah had, even in the game, a lot of the stuff seemed to be going down the left-hand side through Sadio Mane, and I didn't think Mo was involved in the game as he would have liked to have been, but he got the penalty. And then, I mean, the second goal, what can we say about this? This was why Mohamed Salah is our Egyptian king, why he's world class. He sold David Luiz, absolutely left him for dead. Was so clever when he was running into the box. He ran across the front of Monreal knowing that he couldn't touch him. And then the finish, mate. I mean, world class. I'm just going to keep saying world class because that's how I feel.
Absolutely. I mean, that just the way he turned David Luiz. I mean, he obviously sent David Luiz out of Anfield. He's obviously sent him back to Brazil. He's obviously sent him back to Chelsea. And just the way the Salah went past left Monreal for dead as well. And then the finish was just unbelievable. It reminded me of his goal against Fulham when he was sort of on the counter attack. And obviously same corner, but just unbelievable way and skill to basically get past Luiz. But it was, I've not actually stopped watching that goal since the game stopped, because that for me is the goal of the season so far.
It was absolutely sensational, and what made it all the more beautiful was David Luiz, I believe, he picked up a yellow from the penalty incident, so couldn't even pull him back when he was skinned out on the far sideline, which made it all the more beautiful. And that, I mean, we can underplay this, but the cleverness to run across Monreal like that, knowing that Monreal couldn't touch him, couldn't put a foot in, couldn't tackle him, couldn't do anything because it would be a clear and obvious penalty. So again, just so clever from Mo Salah in that situation. And from there on out, it was party time, mate. We really started up in the ante. The tricks were coming out. I thought Fabinho in midfield again was excellent. And look, we can't let you go without unfortunately talking about the Arsenal goal. And it was kind of a little bit unlucky that Henderson didn't quite manage to tackle, but it was also great footwork from Torreira.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic footwork from Torreira. Yeah, it was a wee bit of a fortune. It was a wee bit fortunate because there was one sort of bounce that Henderson sort of takes it. He takes a swipe at it, and then obviously Torreira he gets there first, and it's a very good finish actually because Adrian, he nearly gets to it, but it's right in the corner. It's a great finish from Torreira, and yeah, it's disappointing to lose a clean sheet, but for us to win 3-1, knowing that all the games today were away wins, it was nice to sort of stop that trend and obviously get our home win. And now that's us unbeaten in 42 games at Anfield, 32 wins and 10 draws. Since obviously Crystal Palace beat us in April 2017. It's a remarkable record.
Fortress comes to mind, mate. Fortress is the phrase that comes to mind. It's what Jurgen Klopp said he wanted to do when he came in. I don't know what to say about our home record. It is absolutely unbelievable. Over 2 years unbeaten, as you said, in the Premier League at home. 3 wins out of 3. We're the only team still with a 100% record in the Premier League. It's very early days, mate, but all signs are pointing to a good season for the Reds.
Absolutely. There was one other incident that I wanted to ask you about. What was the VAR about? And when that corner was not being taken, there was a possible VAR that I was totally bemused by, and it said possible red card.
I thought that it was the incident on Mohamed Salah in the penalty area in the 6-yard box. I thought maybe that they were looking for a penalty incident or whatever it might have been. Now, it was a bit shambolic. It took far too long. Whatever it was, they shouldn't have taken as long as it did. I think it was about 90 seconds, something like that. Yeah, it was strange. I was strange about it, and I'm going to probably have to do some more reading up to look at it. But yeah, it was a little thing that will allow the people who aren't sure about VAR to, make a valid point that it is just slowing down the game at times.
Yeah, and to be honest, VAR has had an absolute nightmare today. I don't know if you watched Norwich-Chelsea, but there were a couple of decisions in that game where you're like, VAR should really, take action. I think there was one, like, you basically, I'll firstly say this. The commentary in the Norwich-Chelsea game was absolutely ridiculous.
It was dog shit.
Chris Sutton. Oh, Chris Sutton. I don't get his comments. Like, he literally said that you're allowed to stamp on people. No, you're not. VAR will definitely pick that up, but I think he was referring to the Godfrey tackle. Can't remember who it was on, but yeah, he did stamp on him. But yeah, I think VAR has had a nightmare today, and I think I'm looking forward to match of the day later on, because I think we'll see more controversy over VAR. I mean, I'm not a fan of VAR. What about you?
Before the season started, I was absolutely more pro VAR. Now I'm absolutely on the fence. There's some parts of it that drive me demented. Some things, I've seen some clear decisions, like at that Chelsea game. I think there was a penalty incident in there that should have been given. There was one today in our game I thought might have been a penalty as well. Somebody stepped across the front. Was it Mo Salah? And got a connection. And there are some things where you just wonder, well, where is the threshold before VAR actually gets involved here? It is here to stay, mate, unfortunately, by the looks of it, and we're going to have to get used to it. But the one thing that drives me demented about it more than anything else is the handball rule. The fact that one thing can be a handball in the Champions League and not be a handball in the Premier League, it needs to be sorted out so it's a level playing field right across. Other words, players are going to go into different games with different mindsets and everyone's going to be confused.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that handball decision against Laporte was absolutely ridiculous. I know. We all sort of kid about obviously City, having a match against VAR, but that was just ridiculous. Yeah,
it was, and by the letter of the law, it was the correct decision. You got to say that, but it doesn't mean we have to agree with the law at this moment in time in the way it's worded, and I don't. Buddy, I'm going to let you go, but before I do, I just want to let people know that you've got your own YouTube channel that you started this season, and I just want to give you a chance to give it a shout out.
Yeah, it's the Dugout. I do Premier League predictions. I do match previews, match reviews. I also do sort of SPFL predictions if you like your Scottish football. So yeah, give me a sub.
Perfect. And look, mate, it's always a pleasure. No doubt we will be chatting again very soon. I believe it's a bank holiday over in the UK, isn't it? This weekend.
I think it's an English bank holiday, but I'm off. I'm off anyway, so I'm gonna have a nice long weekend to celebrate what has been a very good day, and got 61 points in my fantasy football today as well. Had Salah as captain, so I've had a very good day.
Love the bit of flexing at the end, mate, about the Fantasy Premier League. You got to do it. Do you know what I mean? When you have your weeks like this, you've got to do it. Douglas, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And also, before I let you go, congratulations on your recent engagement.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been a very busy, hectic few months for both of us, but managed to get a wedding venue and a reception. So it's all about saving money now. But thank you very much, and exciting times for both of us ahead. And absolute pleasure to finally get to speak to you, Craig. Absolute pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, mate. We'll catch up soon. Take care.
Take care. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, ladies and gents, it is just you and I. Let me take these headphones off and we'll get into your comments. It was a pleasure finally chatting to Douglas there. We've been messaging back and forth for quite a while, and it genuinely is a pleasure to have a chat with him. And he's probably a voice that you'll hear a lot more in the channel moving forward, because I like his views on football. I think he speaks very eloquently, and we could do it a bit of class on the channel. Do you know what I mean? When you have to listen to me all the time, it's nice to have the class of Brian Morrissey, the class of Douglas and like that, the class of Dave, and then you've got me and Connor, just, to make up the numbers. Craig, have I ever been to Anfield? Yes, just mate. I've been many times, in excess of 50 anyway. Haven't been able to get over in the past year because I haven't gotten a ticket like many other people, buddy, but yeah, been many times. Now, let's get into your comments. This is your show now, ladies and gents. You wanted phone-ins this season. We've been trying to do them bit by bit. Again, massive thank you to Douglas for coming on and giving us his time. Cam Vlog said his channel is growing slowly. Look, shout out to your channel, mate. I hope it continues to grow. What else we got? I seen October was in the chat as well a minute ago. October, how are you, my friend? I hope life's treating you well. Who else have we got in? Dave of Dave's LFC Chats is in as well. How are you, sir? Right, what have we got? Great weekend when the Toffees and the Devils lose and we win convincingly, said Jojo. It is, mate, and top of the league. Do you know what I'm saying? Top of the league. I want to take a second to just savour how beautiful it is that every season Arsenal come to Anfield. Their fans chat immense amounts of shit before they come, and they go home with their tail between their legs. We heard them talking about Joe Gomez. We heard them talking about how great they are. We heard the predictions, how they're going to win. They always come and give it Billy Big Bollocks, and they go home with an absolute kicking, and life goes on. And it will happen again next season, and the season after that, and the season after that. And it is about time that I think they start showing some respect to Anfield when they come, and start showing some respect to this football club, because at this moment in time, Liverpool are ahead of Arsenal in their development. That is clear for everyone to see. Anybody who expected anything other than the Liverpool victory today genuinely was kidding themselves. I've been saying all week how confident I was. I'm not confident because I want to belittle Arsenal. That's never my intention at all. I was just confident because I know how good this team are. And this team, even at 70%, were going to beat that Arsenal team today. Arsenal had opportunities, 100%. It has said, my place is not to come and piss all over Arsenal. They will develop, they will get better. They've made some good signings, they have a decent manager there. But I just want some respect. I just want some respect to our football club, because I am sick to death of listening to their sensationalist bullshit every time before they come to Anfield. Oh, they're going to do this, Lacazette's going to do this, their front three are going to do this. You do fuck all every season. You come, you get your ass handed to you, and you go home. I never talk shit about opposition fans before games or after games, really. And I was waiting for this one to finish before I did, because my timeline has been full all week of little clips of videos and little mouthy people saying they were going to come and do this, and this, and that we're shit, and that Gomez is shit, and blah-de, fucking blah. As always, nothing happens. Nothing. Because Liverpool are a better side than Arsenal. I'm expecting us to show that when we go to the Emirates as well later on in the season. But just enjoy it. Enjoy it, ladies and gents. We're the only team left with a 100% record in the Premier League. It's early days. I'm not saying Liverpool are going to win the league, anything like that. But what I'm saying is, we're going to be there or thereabouts. We've a good side with a good manager, a nice, compact, tight side. Probably not as deep a squad as we would have liked, but still a very deep, good squad. Looking at the bench today, okay, we Queven Kelleher on there because our first choice goalkeeper is injured. But after that, you're looking at James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Adam Lallana, Shaqiri. I can't even remember who else we had on there because I haven't got the information in front of me right now. Who else we got? I can't remember. But we had a strong bench, and we're still bringing back players as well. So I hope you enjoyed the game today, because I really fucking did. I really, really did. I'm so happy for Mo that he got his 2 goals. But look, this is your show. I want to get through your comments. Hope City lose tomorrow, said Reynard. I don't think they will, mate, to be fair. I mean, I think that'll give Bournemouth a hiding. God, we're great. Let's go Bournemouth, said Rabadam. Thank you very much, mate. You're so generous, so kind with the super chats, mate. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. What else have we got? Said, how much did Arsenal spend last season? I don't know. I mean, it depends what way you look at it. I mean, total transfer fees, what was it, 70 million, 72 million for Pepe. Danny Ceballos was a loan. I don't know what they spent on it. Probably 100 and something. I'm just guessing here. Pepe is a good player. Dribble past VVD, but eventually he was going to get dribbled past. Don't really care. 3 points is all. I don't buy into these silly little stats like he was dribbled past. It doesn't really mean anything to me. Van Dijk is an absolutely world-class defender. Of course he'll get dribbled past from time to time because there's some really good forwards in the league. And Nicolas Pepe is a good player. But Van Dijk showed his class again today. That defence is going to be upset not keeping a clean sheet again. We can't let that go without talking about it. We've conceded in every one of our league games so far, and they're going to want to put that right. They would have liked to have seen out that game today with a clean sheet. Very good footwork from Lucas Torreira for the goal. Took it very well as well. Nothing but credit towards him. I thought Arsenal actually looked a lot better when they brought Torreira on. I don't understand why Lacazette didn't start, but look, I don't have to worry about these things. I looked at the Liverpool team sheet and I went, yeah, no problem with that whatsoever. You know, my choices during the week were Gomez and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but we said all week, if it ends up being Joel Matip and Gini Wijnaldum, no problem whatsoever. And they came in and they did a great job. And Joel Matip, I thought, was absolutely exceptional today. I thought it was one of his best games in a very long period of really good games for the Reds. Farwell said, I missed the first rants. Flying Pig for United was rare in form. I just gave them all the same time. And cacophony was orchestral. Oh, I'm liking the choice of words there, Dave. Wish Bobby got one, said Andy Panda. So do I. And Sadio as well. It's always nice if the whole front three can get on the scoreboard. But that second goal from Mohamed Salah, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to see many better goals this season. It was sensational. Now look, you might see more sensational strikes, but just from forward play, from pace, from cleverness, it was sensational, and I'm so happy for Mo. Sorry guys, was on the phone. What did I miss? Said John Hamilton. Not much, mate. We're just enjoying another 3 points. Hendo had a great game today. Some clinical tackles and the ball through to Robbo. Oh, Kev, mate, that ball outside of the foot, sensational, as you said. His tackling, his tracking back. Jordan Henderson looks like an absolutely reborn player that has been given the license to get forward a little bit more. And the team is benefiting from it. And I seen an interview with Xabi Alonso during the week, and he was saying how he can see how important Jordan Henderson is to this club and how much of a leader that he is. And when you have somebody like Xabi Alonso, who's played at the level that he's played at, he's won the things that he's won, complimenting you like that, you know there's a player in there. And it always bugged me when some people underestimate and undermine Jordan Henderson, both his leadership abilities and his impact on the field. He was never a 6. That wasn't Jordan Henderson's natural position. You're seeing more of his natural position now in that 8 where he can get forward, and more of it, please, because he's been sensational. Reinhardt said, I can't believe people said Salah's a one-season wonder. They will never learn, mate. Never. But let them keep doubting our players. Let them keep doubting Bobby, Sadio and Mo. And these guys will go out week after week and put in performances like that. And some weeks, do you know what? They won't have great performances, but they'll pull out a moment of magic that'll get the 3 points. Happily Egg said, I want to see the defence get some clean sheets. We're the best defence last season. We're okay, but not back to that level. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I get where you're coming from. I'm just at the point still where I just want the points on the board. And if we keep winning, like last year, there was a good period where we were talking about not putting in great performances, not blowing teams away, but we were getting the results. And again, we've got the result today. And 3 wins from 3. Difficult trip to Burnley next week. It's never easy to go there. So if we can go into the international break and pick up another 3 points before that, go in with 12 points, it's going to be a good start to the season. Stephen Booker said Salah was awesome. If Mane plays bad, then Salah steps up and vice versa. Yeah, but as I said to Douglas earlier on, I thought it was interesting because a lot of our play in the first half in particular was going down the left-hand side through Sadio Mane, through Andy Robertson. And Mo wasn't really as involved in the game as I'm sure he would have liked to have been. But it shows you the calibre of the man that he still massively impacted the game. 2 goals, amazing penalty, fantastic second goal. God, I love him. I love this team, ladies and gents. I really do. Happily Egg said, Hendo, the most reliable player of the game on TalkSport. Talk shite. I hate that channel. Not you. Always happy to read your comments, mate, but I've no time for TalkSport, as you know. Anybody who employs Jason Cundy, almost a fucking slip there, Durham and the likes, and the sensationalist bollocks that they come out with on there can keep it. Pookie's on fire. Salah will overtake him, said Callum. Champions League group stage draw next Thursday, said Cam Vlogs. Yeah, really excited about that as well. Be interesting to see who we get. The Reds, of course, in pot 1 as defending champions. Champions. 6 times, motherfuckers. Yeah, in pot 1, as we said, which is really important as well, because we know last year, being in pot 3, we ended up in a really difficult group with Napoli, Paris Saint-Germain, and of course Red Star Belgrade. I think Alisson being out was a bit of a shock to the system. It'll take a few games to grasp how to proceed at all. Plus, Adrian made 3 good saves today, said Farwell. Yeah, I thought he was decent today. Didn't take any ridiculous chances. Claimed balls that he should have came out and claimed. Made some saves. No issues on the goal. I mean, he couldn't have done much about that. It was a good finish from Torreira. Joshua Hoy said, after 5 years at the club, people will still be calling Salah a one-season wonder. Yeah, and to be fair, Harry Kane had it for a while as well. People were calling him a one-season wonder, and he just kept banging them in season after season. What's my prediction? Ray Rolex wants to know for the Burnley game. 2-0. I think we'll go there. Maybe grind out a 2-0, mate. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I think our class will tell. Yeah, I'm going with a 2-0. It'll be interested to see how everybody trains during the week. See what vibe we're getting out. Maybe what 11 we're going to go with. But yeah, I think we'll get the 3 points, mate. Look, I'm confident in this group. And with Manchester City having, I don't want to say as easy a run of games as they have, because everybody plays everybody twice, but the fixtures have been kind to them at the start of the season. So, yeah, I'm interested to see if we can keep up our momentum as well. Some crucial tackles, said Callum, with regards to Jordan Henderson. The Hawkford said, good evening, best performance so far and definitely more to come. You'll never walk alone. Thank you for that, buddy. It was good. It was good. Sensational from an attacking perspective. It's defensively we can pick up a little bit, but again, our goalkeeper not being available, I think will impact that. Benji Fam's an Arsenal fan. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. Brian Daly said, was at the game today, Salah on fire. Is that my mate, Brian? Shankill, Brian? Is that you, mate? If it is, glad you're at the game, mate, and great to hear from you. Honestly, we should keep in touch. It's been far too long, my friend, if this is the same Brian Daly, which I think it might be. I'm glad you enjoyed the game today, mate. Good game to go to, and Salah was on fire, as you said. That second goal, Brian, sensational. Mossy said, what did you think? I think 2-0 against Burnley as well. Bowie said, when Oxlade-Chamberlain plays in the wing, he doesn't play well. What's wrong with Shaqiri and Klopp? Bowie, it's a question we've spoken about on the stream quite a bit. On the bench again today, which is good to see him getting into the matchday squad, but no minutes. And you would have thought, being 3-0 up at one period, that you look to the bench and think, yeah, okay, well maybe I'll get Salah off now, or get Sadio off and give Shaqiri a run out. Didn't happen. I wonder will he still be here come September the 2nd when the European window closes. There was some rumours as well doing the rounds today about Bobby Duncan. I'm not sure if you guys seen that. Connor sent me a message about this. Links to Fiorentina. A loan deal seems to be what people are talking about. Whether it's a loan with an option to buy, I don't know as of yet. But I did also see somebody told me that he'd removed Liverpool from his bio. I'm not sure how true that is or not, because I haven't checked, but interesting to see what goes on there if he does make the move. Hosto said True Geordie is back. I watched it. If you haven't seen it, the man's just brilliant. He's just brilliant. He came up and we spoke about the WhatsApp messages. He owned it. He literally got roasted by his own mates about it on his video. It is brilliant. I think it's about 20 minutes long. I definitely recommend you to go and watch it. Anything he does is great, but delighted to see him back today. And that is the way I would deal with that situation as well. Probably not as well as he did it, but yeah, I liked it. I was really impressed by it. Delighted to see him owning the situation. And as I said all along, whatever the fuck goes on between two consenting adults, in private, in messages, as his own business. I don't care if he's a kinky fucker, which he's admitted to being. Great. Enjoy it, mate. It's your life. Have fun. JDB said, I'm not mad. You guys beat Barcelona 4-0 with a lot of players missing, and this time we're losing by 2 goals instead of 4 and 5. I guess that's not too bad. You'll get better, mate. As the season goes on, that Arsenal team will get better. United today at home losing to Crystal Palace. That's got to give you inspiration that 4th Champions League spot should be available there. Chelsea, they're a bit unknown under Frank Lampard. Good win, 3-2 away at Norwich today. Frank's first win as manager there. But you got to think, if you're an Arsenal fan right now, you got to be aiming for that 4th Champions League spot. Big game coming up against Spurs as well. But I genuinely do think Arsenal will come as the season gets better and get better and better and better. I was just very confident today because I just couldn't see how Arsenal were going to come and beat Liverpool. They could do it at the Emirates, they could put up a better fist of it, but we're just further along in our development, and I think it's okay to say that without sounding too cocky. Joanne said, "True Geordie has done a great video." It was brilliant, Joanne. It really was. The man nailed it. As he always does, to be fair. You don't get to where he has been by not being pretty damn good at what you do. We have, Reading Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup 2nd round. Hope we get through. I'd love to get the red. Said Cam, I think you're talking about Plymouth there, mate. United is yesterday's news, said James Hardy. Yeah, they were... how do you lose that game? How? Like, you get back to 1-1 and you still go and fuck it up and allow Palace to go up the other end and score. I haven't seen the winning goal for Palace, by the way. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but just before I clicked to start the stream earlier on, I glanced on a scene that Daniel James had scored. United got it back to 1-1, and I thought, it'd be a bit of a roller coaster finish here. Can United perhaps nick this? And then Connor sends me a message going, Van Aanholt, ha 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 ha. And I was like, oh, what's happened? And he said 2-1 Palace. I thought, oh my God. How does that happen? Ollie's at the wheel though. Ollie's at the wheel. Mark said Firmino's not world class. Well, he's wrong. I don't know if Mark did or did not say that, but I'll take you at your word, Brad. He's wrong. He's very, very, very wrong. Bobby Firmino is world class. Next fixture against Burnley, Newcastle, then Chelsea, Sheffield United. How many points from these, Craig? Burnley 3, Newcastle 3, Chelsea. Let me just check. I have the fixtures here. I can't remember if we've got Chelsea home or away. You know how shocking my memory is. Let me just grab the fixtures up. Right, Chelsea away. That'll be a difficult game. It's always difficult to go to Stamford Bridge. So let me go here. Let me be realistic. Burnley win, Newcastle win, Chelsea, let's say a draw. We can go there and win, but it will be difficult. Sheffield United a win, so that's 3, 6, 9, 10 points out of a possible 12, although 12 is now the question, Casper. What do you think? What do you guys think about those 4 fixtures? Papandu said Liverpool absolutely choked Arsenal and smothered them from the first minute onwards, which is brilliant, and it's what I wanted to see, mate. I didn't want Arsenal to come into this game, get a really good start and get their tails up and feel like they could come and have a go at Liverpool. I wanted us to be at it from the first whistle, and thankfully we were, and it was another good 3 points for the Reds. United Unity said good win by Liverpool. Isn't the best being United fan at the minute. Do you know what, mate? I really do appreciate you guys, and there is a few of United fans come across from the United stand and pop in, and I appreciate your honesty in seeing Liverpool doing well. And it isn't the best being a United fan at the minute. You're right, but you're rebuilding, and you will come again at some point. I mean, football, as my friend Farrell says, is cyclical, and the cycle at the minute is Liverpool and Manchester City pushing ahead of the rest. But United are a massive club and they'll come again. Look, from my perspective, obviously I hope you're dog shit for as long as possible because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'll always show respect because they're a huge club, and that rivalry is all the more fun when the two clubs are at their best. Callum said, just got in, brilliant game today, sneaky win by Palace, I'm buzzing. Mossy said, when are we in the Carabao Cup draw? 3rd round, I believe, Mossy, if my memory serves me correct. Farrell said he's world class enough to have a Champions League Weddle. What's a Weddle? A Weddle. Champions League Weddle. I'm inventing language now as well. Champions League medal. And a Copa America one as well, buddy. And a Super Cup one. And maybe a World Club Championship one as well. Jack Football said Adrian's still a bit shaky, but we got the win. I didn't see too much wrong today from Adrian, to be fair. I thought he did everything he needed to do. Good one-on-one stop against Pepe. Came out and claimed a few decent crosses. Nothing he could do about the goal. I thought he was alright today. Look, he still does make me a bit nervous because not having Alisson there would make any of us nervous, but we got the win. Craig Weston has given us some player ratings for the game. So he's gone 6.4 for Adrian. I think that's a bit harsh, mate. I don't really see anything he did wrong. Trent 7.6, Van Dijk 7.9. Very precise, Craig. I like this. Matip 8.3, Robbo 8, Hendo 8.1, Gini 7.6, Fabinho 8.1, Mane 7.9, Salah 8.4, and Firmino 8. So you're going and giving Salah your man of the match, Craig, by your ratings. It's a close call. I'd go with Matip personally, but I mean, Salah scored 2 today, one of them an absolute worldie, so I completely understand where you're coming from. Will wants to know, did somebody say top of the league? Yeah, we did, Will. Yeah, we did, mate. Top of the motherfucking league. Look, it's only 3 games in. It doesn't really mean that, and it's just a bit of fun, but having that 100% record is nice, isn't it? Mrs. Mad said 7th coming with regards to the Champions League. Maybe, why not? It is in the Ataturk Stadium in Istanbul this season, 15 years on from the Reds' historic win there against AC Milan. John Cable said, all that debate about Pogba taking the penalty from Rashford, as he's never missed a penalty for United, and then he goes and misses one. I know. And I was about to say on our stream when Salah got the penalty, on the day of missed penalties, don't let this happen. But I didn't. I stopped myself from saying it because I didn't want to jinx it. And then Mo went and still got in top corner because that's what Mo does. Right, what else have you guys got for me? I know you're an Irishman, Craig, but the McGregor interview was embarrassing. It was shite, Dara. I did watch all 40 minutes of it. Actually watched it earlier on today before the Liverpool game. It was, at times, I thought he was quite humble. I thought the way he spoke about Nate Diaz and how he was honest in his admiration for Nate Diaz and his performance. Some of it I thought was okay, but there's a pattern to the way Conor McGregor talks that annoys me. It is forced. It is clear. It's not coming from the heart. Some of it was scripted. You can see that a mile away. Did he repair the damage? I don't know. A little bit, perhaps. The man needs to get back fighting in the octagon. That's the thing about McGregor. I mean, I'm still a fan. I can't defend what he did in the bar. It was shocking. I can't defend some of the stuff that he's done, but at the end of the day, if the man gets back in the octagon and gets back to the level of performance that he's capable of, he'll win people back over. But you're right, I wasn't impressed with the interview, mate, overall. I give it a 6 out of 10. I thought that it could have been a lot better. Fair play to Ariel. I thought he asked the right questions. I thought he pushed them when needs be. But yeah, it was... Do you know what I mean about the pattern of talking, by the way? Does everyone understand where I'm coming from about this? Being an Irish person, I see Conor McGregor having 3 or 4 different Irish accents at times, depending on who he's talking to. And he enunciates, is that the word I'm looking for? Certain things, and look, maybe I'm being harsh here, but yeah, I didn't think it was great. What have we got here? There's a super chat in from somebody. He said, Owen Curtis said, great day, United lose. Then Liverpool humiliate Arsenal to stay top. LA. You got a little bit wrong, but I fixed it for you. It's all good, buddy, and thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really kind of you. Cape Town Muslim said, Mark Goldbridge losing his mind, realising they're up shit creek already. Not our problem, though. Not our problem as Liverpool fans. As much as I like Mark, I despise Manchester United as a football club, obviously, me being a Liverpool fan, and the more they're losing their minds over there, the better, from our point of view as a footballing perspective. I said it, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was never the man to lead that club, and when they gave him the job, I was fucking delighted about it. Cam Vlog said, I think early September, off the top of my head, I'm not sure what that's about. Liverpool are smashing it, said Lee. Yeah, it's great, mate, isn't it? 3 out of 3. I have to admit that during the Champions League final against Spurs, I had a little... Is this wee? Is that what we're trying to say? Weddle? I don't know what that means. We upped their game today. Practically no unforced errors. Trent's clearance at the end led to the goal, said Dean Dixon. Yeah, you're right, mate. In the corner like that, just lash it out up the line. Playing it straight to, I think it was Xhaka, if memory serves me correct, that led to the goal. Shit happens. If you are going to make these little errors, again, you never want to see them made, but it is better to make them and still pick up the 3 points, because the manager can sit down and talk through it with you. And look, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, it wasn't great. He could have done better with the clearance. McGregor's a loose cannon who's been exposed, said Craig Weston. Definitely seems to be surrounding himself with the wrong type of people from the outside. And I don't know McGregor, and I don't know the people he surrounds himself with, but looking at it, it's not great. It isn't. He just needs to get back to fighting, because that's what he does best. Have you talked about True Geordie's heroic comeback yet? I did, mate. I spoke about it earlier on, and like you said, he knocked it out of the park. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He owned it. he lived up to it. The guys roasting him was brilliant. If you haven't watched the video, do go and watch it. Yeah, well done to Brian. Absolutely nailed it. Enunciates, Joanne. Thank you. That was where I was going for. Farrell said, like Mark, great show as always, and he can be quite funny despite being disappointed. Yes, he is. He understands its peaks and troughs, and yeah, like myself, he's a good man for some little clips and for some celebrations and for some phrases. And I like Mark. You know I like Mark. He's a really, really nice fella. Paul B said, giving Ollie the job was like giving Moyes the job, out of his depth for such a big job. Craig Weston said his man of the match was Matip, but that goal changed my mind. It was, if you're talking about Mo's goal, sensational. That second goal, mate, absolutely sexy as hell. Ladies and gents, if you're enjoying the stream so far and you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. We're on the march and we keep pushing on, and every single subscription really does help us and gets us to meet more Liverpool fans or football fans around the world. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, please take 1 second to give us a thumbs up. It helps get the stream pushed out there. It looks really good as well, and lets people know that, you know, they like what we're doing, and it's a little bit of an ego boost as well. I'm not going to lie about it. It does look good. 4 points clear to top of the league, said Nlogs, until tomorrow. We could be 2 if City pick up their win tomorrow. Do you think we're going to make any big signings in January? No, I genuinely don't think we're going to do anything in January, mate. Next summer, I'm expecting big things next summer. We all know about the potential new kit deal. It's looking like it could be Nike, although it's not confirmed yet. That will deepen our pockets. That will deepen our reach towards certain players. And I am expecting Liverpool to do big things in the transfer market. I'd like to see a clean sheet against Burnley, said Craig. As would I, mate. Scotty wants to know, who do you think will score against Burnley on Saturday? I know it's a week away. I'd like to see a goal from midfield. I think Hendo's due one. He's looking like he wants one as well. So I'm going to go bold, mate, and go for Jordan Henderson and Sadio to get back on the goal scoring chart. So those two for me, and a 2-0 win for Liverpool. Yasser said, Mo Salah goal, oof. Luis didn't know what planet he was on. Yeah, and didn't he get booked from the penalty, so we couldn't even pull him back, so we had to let Mo go. And then the cleverness as well to run in front of Monreal or across Monreal, knowing that he couldn't get touched. Cam Vlog says 22k approaching. Unbelievable, Craig, really well done. Thank you, and thank you again, mate. I'm still baffled as to how we keep growing, but I'm humbled and I'm grateful, and we'll keep blagging it as long as we can, I think is the right phrase here. Mossy said, I'd love New Balance to stay. I've no issues with New Balance whatsoever, Mossy, mate. I think they've made great kits and great other bits and pieces as well. Subi said, hey Craig, still at Liverpool at the hotel. What a win and what an atmosphere. It was amazing. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, mate. As I said to you, picked a good game to be at. 3-1. Absolutely fantastic, buddy. And the Reds to go 3 games unbeaten, 100% record, top of the league. There's so many positives that we can take out of it. Ben Rafferty said, United lose to Palace, Liverpool beat Arsenal. That's a good day. That is a good day, my friend. It really is. Would like to see Joe Gomez get some revenge against Burnley. Yeah, but can you drop or rest Joe Matip when he's in the form that he's in? And this is coming from me, who had Gomez down today in his predicted team sheet. It's Matip's shirt at this moment in time. It has to be. He deserves it. He's got to keep that shirt. Stephen Richard said, Craig, only pockets worth having are deep ones, which is true. It is true, Stephen. Arsenal shouldn't worry about it. They've more chance of getting top 4. United and Chelsea are rubbish, said Hosto. Jojo said, if Connor gets off the recreational drugs, which we have absolutely no 100% proof that he is on, I can't say that on the stream. Do you know, I've got to cover ourselves here. He'll get back on track. His bad behaviour is out of character. He's become irrational and spiteful. Not a good look at the minute. I hope he sorts it out. I echo those sentiments. I hope he sorts it out as well, mate. Craig Weston said, wanted Pepe all summer, and then what's this? And then Wrangles says he's perfect fit for us, but it's not to be. Look, the jury is out on Nicolas Pepe's career, and we'll see how he gets on. He looked bright at times today. He definitely has something about him. In the first half, nearly put one in top bins, was about a yard wide, and then he kind of shit the bed when he was one-on-one with Adrian. Guendouzi had a poor game, too much of Gwen's juices. So I don't know what that means. Happily eggs. I like saying Guendouzi though. And him and David Luiz have 2 mighty fine heads of hair. A lot of hair envy from this man here. Ollie won't save them this time, said James Hardy. I wonder, will he last the season? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United, because look, he's getting found out, and that squad is getting found out. Subi said, I'd give Matip a 10 out of 10 today. He was amazing. Papandu said, agree, you can't really drop Matip, although Klopp wants to play VVD and Gomez. Yeah, I agree. Definitely going forward, long term, that does seem to be the preferred partnership. Do we reckon Matip's going to get a new deal? Because if my memory's right, and I often get a lot of things wrong, isn't his contract up at the end of this season, Joel Matip? And if he continues in the form that he's in, you would imagine there'd be an offer on the table for the man at least. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, Liz is in the chat. Good to see you in, Liz. I hope you are enjoying your Saturday. What is it? And it is evening time now, isn't it, in Florida? Again, Liz, I've seen some pictures you posted up of, I think your son's gone off to college. It looks beautiful. It looks like a magnificent college, and it looks like a really nice place. So I hope he settled in well, and I hope he has a great college experience. What else have we got here? To really have Solskjaer 150 million to spend, could be gone by Christmas at Alpha G. Stephen Richard said, Craig, thought Pepe was their best player today. Yeah, he looked bright. He definitely did look bright. Is he going to be one of these players maybe that lacks the end product in the Premier League? I know he hit a shit ton of goals at Lille. But yeah, look, there's something about the guy, and it will be interesting to keep an eye on him. Dean Dixon said, no bench at United, Greenwood totally dormant. Look, I'm not going to write off Mason Greenwood much as I wouldn't write off Ryan Brewster. He's a young player making his way through, but for a club like Manchester United, yes, I agree, Dean, they should have a much stronger bench than that. Ian Creel said, Klopp post-match says it's the first time he hasn't had to say, we're still settling and we'll take what we learned from the game and work on it for the next game. Yeah, it was a good performance today, and it really was. It wasn't perfect, but, you will always improve a little bit. LBM, Lens-Based Media, said, thought Matip already signed a new deal. He could have, mate, and I could absolutely be forgetting this and getting it completely wrong, as I often do. My memory's shocking. So if he has, put it in the chat and let me know. Craig Weston said, sorry, my autism's bad today. Well, being on the spectrum myself, mate, I get where you're coming from, but it's not like a condition that gets better or worse every day. Maybe you're just wording it a little bit awkwardly, but you never have to apologise, mate. You never have to apologise for putting things in. My grammar is awful. We love you either way, Craig, and don't worry about your comments, mate. If there's a little bit off from time to time, we'll roll the punchings, mate. I make fuck up after fuck up on this channel, as you know. And we just lean into it, buddy. But we love you, and it's great to have you in. James Hardy said, more like Wally at the wheel. Well, lolly. L's, lots of L's. Douglas James Horn said, Trent Alexander-Arnold has 11 assists in 2019. Wow. Actually, I've got to give you your proper name, The Dugout, because it's your channel name. Said Trent has 11 assists in 2019. It's great, isn't it? And still only 20 years of age, man. 20 years of age. Thank you for the super chat though, Douglas James Horn. Or sorry, The Dugout. I'm going to have to get used to this, pal. Louis said, rumours are saying Van Dijk has signed a new deal with Liverpool. I hope so. All for that. I mean, the club tying down their big players to new deals is great stuff. And keeping this squad together. And we'll add a little bit of magic along the way as well. But you can't underestimate the importance of keeping a squad together. And then Space Media said, don't count on me being right. Between us, mate, we'll get it right eventually. It's okay. Google Guide Level X said, what do you think about Milner's contract situation? Yeah, this is a difficult one. I would let him go. If I'm being honest, at the end of the season, as much as I love Jimmy Milner, I think that's the time where you go and you either bring back Grujic or you look at a Van der Beek type player, another box-to-box midfielder, young blood to come through. But it's so difficult to say that when you see James Milner, how fit he is, how good he is, what he can bring, his professionalism. But Father Time catches up with everybody eventually, and I just wonder, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on through the season. And Klopp loves him, we all love him. yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And I don't want to say move him on because I love him and he's been brilliant for the club. Mossy said Milner's contract's only 1 more year left at the end of the season. Maybe keep him for 1 more year. I'd have no issue with that whatsoever if that's what Klopp wants to do. Why are we talking about Man United? You mean for like 2 minutes, mate? Because they lost today and we like to take the piss out of them for losing, Darren? Surely you got to celebrate these little things, mate. I mean, it's banter. It's a bit of fun. But we talk about everything on this channel, mate. We talk about crisps. We talk about United. We talk about City, Arsenal, Chelsea, shrinkflation, fucking anything, boxing, you name it, mate. We have a chat about it from time to time. James Hardy said, Ole, not this so super manager. Give Jimmy a 10-year contract, said Lee. Ethan said, I like Arsenal. Fair enough, mate. Welcome in. Papandi reckons we'll give Milner 1 more year. Do you think Arsenal are good enough for the top 4? Yes, I do. I genuinely do. I think they'll get the top 4. They look to me stronger than United at this moment in time. United, how could you not beat Palace at home? That's just unforgivable. Especially when you get it back to 1-1. To then allow Palace to go up the other end and score, it's embarrassing, to be fair. Casper, mate, as Joanna said, and she didn't mean to be disparaging in her comments, but it's best to Google autism, mate, because to try and sum it up in a few sentences is almost impossible because it's so varied. The spectrum is so wide. You've got like Asperger's, you've got different forms of autism. Best to have a Google about it, mate. But it's complicated. And I've got autism. My son has autism. And we're learning as every day goes by. And I'm still learning and picking up new things and learning more information about autism. So for me to try and sum it up in a few sentences, it's just not possible, pal. Darren said Leeds in the Premier League, Milner will go there next season to perform. Yeah, we wondered that in the summer, Darren, if Leeds had got promoted, perhaps would he have gone, but it wasn't to be for Leeds, and we still have Jimmy Milner, and that's a good thing. Milner needs fitness coach and role at the club, said Paul B. The man doesn't drink, the man doesn't ever come back out of shape. He is a thorough professional and somebody that you hold up to show a young footballer how to live as a footballer, how to live the lifestyle of an athlete. James Milner has been nothing but a model pro from day one. Paul B said Palace are a banana skin for the top clubs. They weren't even that good today, mate. It's just that United were dog shit. That's the thing. Palace away, yeah. At Selhurst Park, it can be a difficult place to go. But at home, United should have beaten them. They really should have. First time in the Premier League era, Palace have beaten Manchester United, said the dugout. I did not know that. And thank you. I love learning these little things. Scotty said, Craig, would you take Jimmy as a coach? Yes, definitely, mate. That man has so much he could give and he could learn, or he could teach, I should say, to players. Such a wealth of knowledge, 100%. I wonder, will he go into management? I wonder about that. Will he go into management? He does seem like he has a lot still to give to the game. So yeah, any club that got him as a coach will be blessed to have him. Okay, let me keep going. What is shrinkflation? Ooh, don't get me started on that one, mate. Basically, it's where companies because they can't cheapen the quality of the products anymore, they shrink them. So they can't keep putting the price up and up and up and lessening the quality of the ingredients. So they shrink the products a little bit. So like it'll be 1 square off a Toblerone or a couple of grams off a packet of crisps, and they just hope people that don't notice. And then we all look like fat fuckers going, why am I eating 2 bags of crisps when 5 years ago I would have only eaten 1? And yeah, maybe part of it, people like me are fat fucks and do eat 2 bags of crisps, but a lot of the time it's because the packets have gotten so damn small that you're just not satisfied after eating them. And I suppose an easy example of this are the tins of sweets you get at Christmas. I mean, look back at the Quality Street tins that you would have had, or the Celebrations tins, or whatever you would have had as a child, and now look at them now. It's night and day. They're getting smaller and smaller every single year. Dara said Kovalev is a beast. I did watch the fight actually in between streams, Dara, and Yard could have got him out of there. Was it in the 7th round? And Kovalev withstood it, but other than that, Kovalev bossed the fight from start to finish. And at 36 years of age, after 3 losses in a row, people were wondering about him. He's come back now with a couple of wins and looks like he'll probably get that fight against Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez will beat him and beat him quite easily, but even going up in the weight divisions. But yeah, good night for Kovalev. Google Guide said, you said you had autism. LFC helped me with shaping my life. Did it do you as well? 100%, mate. Now, when I say I've got autism, I am very much a high functioning person. I have Asperger's is the particular part of the spectrum that I'm on. But yes, I joined Twitter, mate, to meet Liverpool fans and to help my what's the word I'm looking for here? To help myself socially, to help myself. I have problems with reading written statements and misinterpreting them. So I originally joined Twitter to help with that, to meet Liverpool fans. And I've talked about this before. That progressed to writing, that progressed to podcasts, that progressed to me being here. And every step along the way, I've tried to challenge myself that little bit more and push on. And my son, who would have more, like, quite a higher level, or I'm wording this all wrong. My son will be, his autism will be a lot more profound than mine. But he's fucking amazing, my little dude, and I learned so much from him, and I think we learn from each other. And I'm glad to hear, mate, that Liverpool have helped you shape your life. That is absolutely wonderful news, mate. And it is little things like that makes football and this club so special, isn't it? We're all here now having a chat about the club that we all love. Some of us have learning difficulties, some of us have mental health issues, some of us have our own problems in life, but sometimes we just chat about football. It drops all the barriers, opens all the borders, and allows us to come on here and have some fun. And it's a beautiful thing. And thank you for sharing that, mate. It really does mean a lot. Craig, can we get a whoop, 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 whoop? Of course we can, mate. It gave you a few during the stream as well, during the watch along. Mossy wants to know, does anybody think that Kent will stay? I don't, mate. I think he'll move on. I think the Rangers seems to be where the smart money would be. I mean, I know we've said before that the club don't want a loan, but maybe if Rangers could, a loan with an option to buy, something like that. Chris bags are full of air, said Don Ellis. A bit like myself, mate. I don't think United will challenge us somehow, said James Hardy. No, they won't. Company is now, what's this? Company is now only captain. Yeah, I'd seen that, Dean, at Anderlecht, and they lost 1-0 yesterday, I think. Did they? Or did they equalise? They were playing Ghent anyway. Yeah, he did step down from his managerial role to concentrate on playing, as you said. Craig said, I'm the same, Craig. My wife sorts all the paperwork. I'm with you, buddy. Yeah, well, my wife does a lot of stuff as well. She's an amazing woman. Right, Domestic Butler said, come on, people, what's going to be the first match or match of the day? Let's have a guess. I don't know, but I'm going to go in a few minutes and go and watch it myself. Young lad from Switzerland missed the first goal, went for a drink with his dad. Good job the other goals came in for us. Yeah, it was just a great day. Steve Stevens said he'd be screwed without Louise as well. We're very lucky, aren't we? A lot of us to have really good partners that are there by our side through thick and thin. Kent won't stay, not after his dropping tools antics, said John Hamilton. Yeah, he seems to try to force his way out. And you don't like to see it, but you know, whatever's best for the club is all I'm concerned about. Louis said Bobby Duncan has removed all Liverpool pictures and videos from his social media. He's embarrassing. It's not a great look if he has, buddy. We spoke earlier on, Fiorentina interested in him. I don't know what to say about Bobby Duncan. I've never been his biggest fan. I've always preferred the look of Glatzel as a footballer. But I don't want to write off or belittle a young lad. He could have a very good career ahead of him. Does anybody in Ireland follow cricket? Not really, Hosto. Not me anyway. I'm aware of it, and I'm aware of the Ashes, and I'm aware of when the T20's on and the World Cups and stuff, but no, can't say I actually watch it too much. Mossy said the Louis pull on Salah was so obvious. It was ridiculous, Mossy. Ridiculous. Dara said Alvarez won't move up. He will if he wants the world title. He will if he wants Kovalev's belt. So that's what'll be interesting. I would have loved to have seen him, Dara, fight fucking Callum Smith, sorry. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's there's so many good fights that can be made out there at the minute, though. What are your thoughts on Shaqiri? Asks Darren. I'm concerned that he's not getting time, and by that I mean I'm concerned as to what the fuck is going on. I'm not Shaqiri's biggest fan. I think he has a place in the squad and can do a job, but he was never going to be a long-term solution if one of the front three got injured, for me. Got a wonderful left boot, can do some really good stuff, but he's too inconsistent. And Joel Rabinowitz wrote a really good article on Shaqiri and the enigma that is Sheridan Shaqiri, and it's definitely worth a read. I think it's on Liverpool.com, I think might be the name of the site. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there seems to be something on, doesn't there, Darren? I mean, he's not getting a look in, really. He's getting named on the bench. Today would have been a perfect time to give him a run out. I just wonder, is there a move on the cards maybe before the window closes? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Joanne said, Craig, your fellow Aspie here. Exactly, how are you, Joanne? Mo completely destroyed Louise, said Shay Trainer. You love to see it, don't you, Shay? You love to see it, mate. No time better than this season to win the league, said FG Melon Gaming. It will be unfucking believable, pal, if we get it done. Excuse my language, but it would be great. But there's a long way to go. 35 league games still to go. There'll be lots of twists and turns. Yeah, I'm just really excited about where we are as a club. Was Shaqiri long-term solution when we signed him? No, I think I said at the time I always thought that he was bought and we were still looking to bring in. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused here. I thought he was bought and we were still looking to bring in Fekir at the same time. I didn't think it was one or the other. I just think that Fekir failing his medical stopped that from happening, obviously. But look, when you get somebody like Shaqiri available for 13 million, it's a no-brainer to have a roll of the dice. I mean, Liverpool could sell him tomorrow and double or treble their money. So from their point of view, it was a no-brainer. Do you think Liverpool need January transfers? No, not at all. I think I prefer to see business done in the summer, give players a chance to get a pre-season under their belt. I don't like to see panic buys, which often happens in January. But sometimes deals like the Van Dijk deal that couldn't get done in the summer move on and get done in January. I'm not sure if Liverpool were trying to do stuff behind the scenes that we couldn't quite pull off. But I do have a sneaking suspicion, Zayed, that something big is going to happen next summer, mate. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans have that as well. Why did Arsenal lose? Because they came up against the mighty Reds, Ethan Gamer. They came up against the mighty Reds who did what Liverpool do at home, and that's get 3 points. CM Butterbell said, Craig, just got in. Have you listened to David Luiz's post-match interview? It's crazy. Nope, but I'm going to. When I finish the stream, a couple of people have told me it's a little bit nuts, alright. I think Klopp should just keep Chamberlain in midfield. I don't like him on the wing. I don't think he works there. I'm with you, Louis. He's much better through the centre. And I think that's where he'll be played for us the majority of the season. Darren said, by the way, I'm a Liverpool fan, born in Wolverhampton, living in Alabama. Nice one. Do you think Wolves can challenge for the top 4? No, not this season. And part of the reason I say that, Darren, is just because them being involved in the Europa League, and Thursday, Sunday football can really take its toll, mate, as the season goes on. But they're a good team with a good manager and a good squad. I don't like the way they play the game, as in I think they're a little bit too negative at times, but it's effective. And they've got some good players at the club, and I think they'll do well this season. I just wonder if being in the Europa League will impact their season. Domestic Butler said, Craig, who's the first name on the team sheet if I had to pick one? He'd say VVD, I'd say Firmino. Firmino for me is so important to everything that we do. Cargonzo said Arsenal parked the bus and tried to counter us. They did. They tried that long ball out to Pepe or down the centre to Aubameyang time and time again, and it just didn't really work out for them. But you know what I mean? From our point of view, it's all good. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bid you farewell and let you go and watch Match of the Day. If you're watching this on playback later on, please do let us know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. Give us your man of the match. Talk us through your version of Mohamed Salah's goal and how good you thought it was. And anything else you want to have a chat about, please do put it in the comment section below. Also, don't forget, if you're looking to sign up to Football Index, there is a sign up link in the description below. And the sign up code to help the channel out here is AA if you're doing it. It is a gambling product, as I said before. 18 plus only, UK and Irish residents. When the fun stops, stop, and begambleaware.org is there if you have any issues with gambling. But yeah, look, it will help the channel. So if you're going to sign up, if it's something you're going to do anyway, please do use the link in the description below and the code AA and sign up, because it'll help the channel out from a financial perspective. Look, I will leave it there, ladies and gents. I will be back tomorrow with the late night agenda at the usual time of 9:30. Thank you to Douglas James Horn earlier on for giving up his time to come on and give us his thoughts on the game. And thank you to you all for your ongoing support of the channel. Lots of love to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll chat to you tomorrow at 9:30. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking Reds. Love to you all.